Alrighty, so we've got some players to watch for on Saturday. And we'll start with Chad Tierney to let us know who we need to look out for besides John Mateer for offense and the guys to look out for on defense as well. Then we'll go with Travion and myself. Oh, Chad, you're muted.
Oh, sorry. I always make sure I'm mute. Do you want to go first again? Players to watch?
Okay, I can do players to watch offense. How about you do defense?
Okay. I have one offense. Yeah, okay. I'll do
Okay,
defense.
fine. Whatever.
Go ahead.
Players to watch offensively, definitely. Of course, you already mentioned John Mateer. Hopefully he is a player worth watching. We'll put it that way. Xavier Robinson's really been our RB1. It was Torrey Blaylock for a while, but it has been X of late because he's really just come on. So he's a guy that's been really physical, really tough. He's been able to create when there's nothing to create from. So he's done really well with that. Isaiah Satanga is someone that John Mateer trusts a lot. He is a receiver. He is also our punt return and kick return guy. My only worry with him is he has had a fumble issue. So really need him to hold on to the ball. Deion Burks is another receiver that we tend to go to, but he's also kind of, I feel like we either go to him a lot or kind of not at all.
Yeah.
I don't really know why necessarily. A tight end that we were going to, but again, we kind of gone away from him is Jaron Canick. Who's our linebacker turned tight end. When he is out there and he is a target, he's usually pretty I hate saying stuff like this because I don't want to jinx him. He's usually pretty secure with it and able to make the play there. So I hope that we do incorporate him a little bit more. Those are really the 4 for me that are the most to look out for. Javonte Gibson is one that's come on late. He's one of our bigger receivers. He was injured through half the season and is just now starting to get more reps. So I don't know how secure he feels out there, but he has made some plays and some catches for us as well. So those would be my top ones to look out for overall.
Mm-hmm.
You may add
on offense. Yeah. I mean, most of those are spot on. I think if I'm going to add any, Ryan Foje, the right tackle, Oklahoma start using 2 true freshman tackles on both ends. Always scares me, especially whenever you have NFL caliber defensive linemen like Alabama obviously has. Now they did really well against. He did really well against Ole Miss. Did really well against Tennessee. For what you would expect a true freshman to be able to do. Obviously had some misses in different times, but really excited for the future of those players. But that doesn't help you this weekend coming up. Is he going to continue to progress? We had Derek Simmons. I know Trev talked about the kind of rotating door of offensive linemen. Oklahoma had finally settled on an offensive line, and then Derek Simmons gets rolled up on in the Texas game, the 20th play in, and it really just kind of Foje came in, did a pretty good job, but you had to again go to a different offensive line set, and it really just messes with your communication and your kind of culture or your ability to play consistently on that side. On defense, for me, obviously you mentioned Taylor Wine and a couple other guys. What's funny about the Taylor Wine thing is what Oklahoma is, the reason why they're so good defensively is Taylor Wine's not even a starter. He comes in the second team. And that's what's crazy is he's just as good. There's really no fall off. It reminds you of those old, in Oklahoma, it used to always be we got to be like Bama is, where there's no drop off to, you had so much talent accumulated on one side, or really on both sides that it just, that's why I thought, they were so good so long is they're able to not have any kind of fall whenever they bring in guys to give the first teamers a spell. And for Oklahoma, it's, right now, they're not even getting a fall off. In some cases, they're getting better production in areas. Owen Heineke, first ever start as an SEC linebacker, SEC Defensive Player of the Week, has 12 tackles, a sack and a half. Huh?
And he had the dot.
And he had the dot the first game, the green dot. But it's one of those things. And he was the fun fact, he was a lacrosse player for Ohio State his freshman year in college. He didn't even play football, and he comes to OU, walks on, and funny story, Venables talks about how his freshman year he would cut the line to get more reps, and it would screw up Venables' reps, his rotation, and he would get so mad at Owen. And he's like, I kind of respected it in the back of my mind because I love a guy that wants to get in the fire, but he just wasn't good enough at the time to get in my reps, and it would mess with our defense. And he's turned into a guy where you watch him play, and he's number 38. He's lightning out there. He's really fun to watch. So that's a huge one for me. is how does, especially if R. Mason Thomas, again, with the quad issue, Kobe McKenzie, number 11, our starting linebacker, had a groin issue against Ole Miss. He didn't play last week against Tennessee. And if those guys are back, you want your leaders out there because they're leaders for a reason. And R. Mason Thomas, one of the best edge players in football. So you want those guys back. But if they're not able to play, it really does fall on a Taylor Wine to come in. PJ Adebawore, number 34, a big 5-star recruit out of high school, has really started to play well the last few games and play well in a way that doesn't show up a lot on stat sheets. He's been very sound on the back end of plays where there's been a lot of cutbacks he's been able to scrape up, and then just really use his length and his leverage to really make a lot of disruption up front. So a PJ Adebawore for me, Cortland Guillory, number 4, our corner, the true freshman, has been fantastic again. But I always
the Bowen brothers.
The Bowen brothers, obviously in the back end, but there are, and those are the kind of guys where I am. I think if OU wins, I think that the defensive line, I think that Taylor Wine has a big day, and I think Adebawore does. You're going to have to get turnovers. So there has to be a way for the defensive line to get plays up front with pressure. We are a really good pressure rate team without even blitzing. They're just very talented up front on the offensive line. Jaden Jackson, a guy that I think doesn't get the respect. For me, he's the best nose tackle in football. I mean, I don't care about classifications, any of that. The dude is 3'4", 330, 6'3", can do backflips. He's insanely athletic. He's Samoan, just a strong, just a mauler. And if you watch him, he's never moving backwards. The worst you can do is stymie him. And he's gone up against some of the best centers that you'll see. And he's did it even last year. And last year as a true freshman. And, whether or not he's the best, actually,
now he's accompanied by
I'm an OU
David
fan.
Stone.
Yeah, and now you look at a David Stone, who was the big recruit and number 1 D tackle and all that. And I know long-winded answer, only to say I think the players to watch certainly on the defensive side are the ones mentioned, and just overall, can that defensive line get pressure on a Ty Simpson and really just put a lot of worry and like you had mentioned, or Jackson, you had said he sped up. It's really the only way you're going to beat a guy that's that good. Is you got to make him see ghosts. And I think Trev mentioned it earlier, is John Mateer sadly has started to see ghosts, I think, because early in the year the O-line was so porous that I think he's starting to get PTSD, I've been calling it, where he's seeing guys where they're not even there. Like he's running into sacks sometimes instead of stepping up in the pocket, or he's not just taking the easy completion. He's wanting to make the hero throw ball all the time. So hopefully he continues to be better in that regard. But
and we saw him finally improve the second half of the Tennessee game. So it had been like that for essentially. And again, he had a surgery, had a knee injury too, as well as the thumb. So like it does make sense that you're going to be a little more shy.
He's completely favored.
And it's almost like when he came out the second half of the Tennessee game, he was just finally like, screw it, like I can play. Like I'm just going to play football. I'm getting out of my head. And he was so night and day different. Again, still holding it a little too much and not making necessarily the easy play, but it was much better than what we have been seeing the past 2.5 games.
Trev, I'm curious on your players to watch. If you could answer a question for me, just one player Oklahoma fans may not, and I think kind of what Jackson asked, just a player, obviously the Ryan Williams, the great, you all have, who's the player that really is like your glue guy or the guy that kind of gets the engine going for that offense or the defense even? Just curious what you think.
Oh man, Connection's messing with him.
Oh, he messed up.
So he's
or Jackson, you can answer it now. But
it's on again, off again, on again, off again. It is just messing with him. But Bernard is definitely got to look for.
Yeah, Bernard's good, man.
Man, he's been amazing throughout the season.
Now, was he? Correct me if I'm wrong. Was he the guy that was going to portal in the offseason, and he and Williams had the "We're Coming Back" video or something like that?
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Because they've been BFFs like during the offseason.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, like especially when you see that video of them hanging out on the Barstool Sports interview with John Gruden, which I mean,
that's it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's it.
Jeremy
right
Bernard.
there.
Is it Jeremy Bernard?
Jeremy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is he a transfer, or has he been at Alabama the whole time?
No.
No, he's
Bernard transferred to Bama, I believe.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. But
okay. with
That
DeBoer.
says,
It looks
Lonnie
like.
Brooks.
Michigan State, Washington. Alabama.
Lonnie
not
Brooks
DeBoer.
is our X factor. That I do know on offense. He has been our X factor on offense.
Lonnie Brooks. Okay.
Oh man, he's been amazing. It's he's been such a key factor for our 2025 season for Alabama. And here we go. I think Trayvon is back. There he is. Let's see
Yeah,
what
I'm sorry. Like I said, I apologize. I don't know why I'm having these connection problems. But to get back to players to look for on Alabama's side, I'll start offensively. There's about probably four names that come to mind. And I'll start with in that running back room department. Jam Miller and Daniel Hill. Are they able? Is Alabama able to find a balance between those two and help kind of spark that run game? And I know a lot of that deals with offensive line, but both running backs have the ability to catch the ball out of the backfield and run in between the tackles. So it's going to be up to Ryan Grubb and his creativity in getting those running backs the ball in space, whether that's the extension of the run game via the screen game or things of that nature. So Daniel Hill and Jam Miller, those are two guys to definitely look out for. Another name offensively, another name offensively to look out for on Alabama's side is our 6'4" receiver Isaiah Horton. He's been kind of quiet over these last few weeks, but with defensive keying in on Ryan Williams, keying in on the Jeremy Bernard, they still have Isaiah Horton who can stretch the field vertically, who can be a threat in the red zone, who can catch the ball in intermediate spots for Ty Simpson, especially when he needs to get it out quick in a hurry. With that Vantage Sooner defensive line. So definitely Isaiah Horton. That's another guy to look out for. And just staying in that receiver room, Lotzier Brooks. The exciting true freshman wide receiver. He has the ability to make a lot of dudes with on tackles in open space. So getting him the football when dudes like a Jeremy Bernard and Ryan Williams are the main focal points of the offense. Dudes like Isaiah Horton and Lotzier Brooks, those dudes definitely can eat and take advantage of that Sooner secondary. So offensively, my guys to look out for it would be like I said, Daniel Hill, Jam Miller, Isaiah Horton, and also Lotzier Brooks. Now defensively, I have four other names that both fan bases should want to look out for. I'll start with the true freshman cornerback we have that's kind of been manning down the island, especially these last couple games. And player I'm alluding to is Dijon Lee. Like I said, a 6'5" true freshman that Alabama seems to trust a lot. Specifically, Kane Warmack trust him in those big moments, and plus his ability to be a willing tackler, and that's going to be needed with John Mateer's ability to escape the pocket and extend plays. And so, Dijon Lee, that's definitely a player that should have an impact on Saturday. Another player defensively that should have an impact on Saturday is Yonze Pierre. He continues to come on strong for Alabama's defensive line. Over the last six games, he's been able to accumulate 5 sacks, and he's really just a player that's really started to come into their own. At the start of the year, he wasn't a starter for Alabama, but now he's a starter and he's playing like a starter. Just has a high motor, just his ability to be a willing tackler to cover and just to get after the quarterback and make things hard on John Mateer. So John Pierre, that's another dude that you definitely want to keep an eye out for. And
agreed.
Just also defensively, another dude that's also been coming on late it's Red Morgan. Red Morgan. He's kind of a smaller DB. He's like 5'10", but he plays with a lot of heart. He's not scared. He's willing to come up and make tackles. He's willing to cover. He's willing to blitz and do these things that Kane Warmack wants out of his nickel defensive back. So Red Morgan, that's definitely a dude that you want to look out for. And lastly, another that you also want to look out for is he might be Alabama's just best all around defensive back from a physicality standpoint to covering and just being a ball hawk. And that player I'm alluding to is Bray Hubbard. Bray Hubbard, he continues to
Oh yeah.
he continues to be a ball hawk for Alabama on the back of the teams. Like I said, he's a willing tackler. He'll come up, he'll smack you in the face. He'll come up, he'll blitz.
Oh, it's a ballroom blitz with Bray Hubbard. I tell you what.
He plays like his hair is kind of on fire. So that's definitely another dude that you want to look out for. So those are four offensive players and four defensive players that you definitely want to look out for. They can definitely be game changers for Alabama and help them secure the win. Because I know Oklahoma's going to come in hot. They're coming off of a bye week. They've had an extra week to just be able to scout this Alabama offense and also just rest up and get healthy. So
for sure,
that can make a difference.
Oh man, that's for sure. And those are the key players to watch for Alabama and Oklahoma on Saturday on ABC at 2:30 p.m. Central Time.